Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and thank you very much for joining me today on this information session about becoming an RGU mentor. So I've just got a quick presentation for you guys today. I'll kind of keep it nice and short. No one likes a long presentation, so we'll keep it quite short. So my name is Heather Wardrop, and I'm an Alumni Engagement Officer here at Robert Gordon University, and I'm also the person who looks after the mentoring programme as well. So the programme started in 2017, and it started off with 11 pairs, and it's grown into 2019 with 84 pairs. That was the year that I'd take over the project, and I'm quite happy to continue to be in charge of this programme as well. So what the programme is, it allows students the opportunity to connect with alumni and industry partners where they can seek support and guidance with their career development. This programme offers you an opportunity to meet the future workforce, develop your own skills in mentoring and leadership, as well as brush up in different industry knowledge that you might have forgotten about. You could also potentially learn something new as well. So the industries are always changing, everything's always adapting. So the mentee might be able to bring something new to the table. You can also update your CV and your LinkedIn as an RGU mentor, and you can pop that in there to show that you have taken on a mentoring programme as well. So the programme is open to all postgraduate students, distance learners, online, full-time, part-time, anyone who is currently studying a postgraduate degree with us. This programme is available to them. It also lasts 6 months and begins in January. Now, what we say is we recommend that you meet your mentee every 4 weeks for an hour to an hour and a half. However, this isn't always the case, and it may be a case that your mentee might not need as much support, and so every 6 weeks for half an hour might be fine. Or they might need a bit more extra help, so they might do every 2 weeks at half an hour. But we tell our mentees to organise those things with yourselves within the first meeting, to organise the dates, times that you're going to meet at the first meeting, so it suits both of your needs. This is also a professional programme, and it's not an opportunity for students to seek employment or placements. All students are briefed on this, and they're told that this is not a place for them to ask for employment. If you do find that your mentee is asking for this, please just let me know, and I will speak to your mentee to make sure they are aware and they 100% understand that this is not a place for employment. Pairs communicate through email, FaceTime, messages, and they also face-to-face, but depending on COVID regulations, there's also the location of where you both are. Currently at the moment, we do recommend Zoom, Teams, or Skype. They're great methods and platforms to hold your mentoring sessions. We try to keep all matches local. However, this isn't always the case, and you might end up with having a mentee who's based somewhere else. So there might be different time zones or cultural differences, and this should be taken into consideration during each of your sessions. We can also not guarantee a match for the programme, and this is just due that we base matches on the needs of both mentees and mentors. So if we don't have a mentee that suits your experience, it might be a case that we let you know that we don't have a match for you at this current time. However, we will let you know when there is one for you. So a mentor is someone who is an alumni or an industry partner. They have varying levels of experience. So this could be anything from graduated within the last few years, or someone who's 50 years into their career. So we do cherish those various experiences and levels of experiences just because they match different needs of our students. Are able to support our students in a professional development. So this is your career advice, industry knowledge, CV development, interview skills, but it's able to support that student there as well. Are active listeners as well. So we do recommend that our students take the lead in organising this and come to bring agendas and meeting topics and questions to the table, and explain this to yourselves, and then for you to give advice and guidance on that. When we do make the matches, they may not match your degree, but the career aspirations will be the best fit. That's where we kind of do most of our matches. And we also ask for a level of professionalism. We ask you to treat the students as if they were your work colleagues and they're new to the company, rather than a teacher-student kind of relationship. And this just allows our students to really develop a working idea and how to present themselves in a working environment. Now, I do talk about professionalism here, and I understand that you do spend quite a lot of your time with your students in this mentoring program, so you will develop somewhat of a personal relationship there as well, which is absolutely fine as well. And we don't discourage it, but we also say that After at the end of the program, you may also continue your relationship with your mentee, and that's also fine as well. But you don't have to if you don't want to. So from our students, we ask them to have realistic expectations. So this, as I said, this program's here to support them and give them guidance. So we expect our students to bear this in mind, and so they're not walking away from this program thinking they're going to have 1,000,001 job offers. It is just a place where they can speak to someone who's in the industry that they would like to be in. We also ask them from professionalism as well, and to treat you as if we're your work colleagues as well, and not as a teacher, and not someone that needs to chase them. They're expected to carry themselves in a professional manner. To have strong communication and effort. So we ask them to put a lot of effort. What they put into this program is what's going to come out of this program. So if you find your mentees not putting a lot into the program's not going to be the best experience for you either. So it really is up to them to put all everything into the program. And also have strong communication. So making sure that they're replying back to you within reason, within a reasonable time. If you find that you're not hearing much from your mentee and there's a bit of a struggle there, just let me know. I will speak to your mentee as well as the course leader to find out what's happening. It could be something that they might have forgotten to say, but they should be in contact with you and replying back to any emails. Also for them to take the lead in organising all the mentoring sessions. So that's bringing the agendas to the table, following up, reflecting, and I'll go into a bit more further detail about this later on. But you might have a case of your mentees not really had leadership training before, they don't have possess that skill, and so they might need a bit of prompting within the first couple of sessions on how to do this. But after that, we do expect them to take the lead and ask the questions. We also ask them to have a high level of contribution. If they don't contribute overly much to the program, you aren't able to be an active listener. And as I said before, what they put into this program is what they're going to get out of it. So they are expected to bring those questions to the table. We have a lot of support for our students. And so this year, this is something that that's quite new to the mentoring program. And this is support that's available for you. So the first one is eHub, which is our employability platform. This is also an alumni platform where we've actually been able to change things about a wee bit to help support our mentors. And we have a mentoring program in there. That you don't have to do this mentoring program. It is just there's an option to help, and as some extra support for you. But it has things on CV development, interview skills, how to mentor, how to lead meetings. There's also just little hints and tips on different things, and it's worth having a wee look through. There might be something in there that you could find useful, not only as a mentor, but in your own professional career as well. Below the mentoring program, there's a mentee program as well. So in the mentee program, they have agendas, topics, ideas, as well as CV developers as well. So they also have quite a bit of support there. You have access to this program as well. It's not limited to just the students, so you are able to see what the students have as well. As I said, this is optional, you don't have to go on it. We'll also have a LinkedIn group which is being developed at the moment, and you'll have access to this as well. The LinkedIn group is a place where I'll be posting different articles, top tips, handy hints and tips on mentoring, but it's also a place where you are able to ask questions as well. So if you have a question that you want to ask, you can bring it to the group, and we're all here to support. We're all here to support each other during this program. I'd also like to invite you to our in conversation with Dr. Moira Bailey, who is an academic here and specialises in mentoring and coaching. And she'll be holding a webinar on the 24th of November at 5 p.m. This will be recorded, so if you're unable to make that date, that's not a problem. I will send you the link to the recording afterwards. Currently at the moment, the topic is being the best mentor. However, things might slightly change, but as soon as I have all the information finalized, I will send that on to you for you to join in as well. And you've also got contact with me. So I will always be here for you if you have any inquiries, please feel free to email me. I'm always happy to help. And I'm here to support you as well. During the mentoring program, I will contact you twice during that time, just to find out how you're doing, what you think of the program, if you need any extra help, any extra support. Just to kind of keep in touch with you. However, with those two emails, you can email me at any time. It's not restricted to just those 2 times. So the matching process is quite a long one because it's all manually done. So you'll find the forms at this link here. I'll also email the link to you. And we try and match our mentors and mentees who share the same career aspirations, but it's not limited to just career aspirations. We take the students' goals and careers that they shared in their form with the experience that you shared in yours. And we use that to really pair people up. However, there may be a case where I've made a match and it doesn't make quite sense. And it might just be because I've misunderstood something, or I've not 100% grasped what the experience is or what the student wants. And that's okay. If you just let me know that you don't think you're the right match for this person, then that's completely fine. I will rematch you with someone else who's a better match. So that's also completely fine. I will let you know in December who I'd like to match you with. I'll give you some details about them, including a CV. It will be slightly edited to take away any of their personal details, but I'll send you their goals as well as I said, an edited CV. If you look at it, you don't think they're a right fit, that is said completely fine. But I'll introduce you to your mentee in January, and this will all be done through email, but I'll let you know more about that closer to the time. And as I've already said, there's not always a match available. However, we do our best to make sure everyone is matched up. So to get the best out of this program, it very much does rely on the students. The more the student puts into this program, the more you will get out of the program yourself. So to help us encourage the students to take the lead with organising the sessions, we have set out little tasks and programs for them, such as setting SMART objectives, organising a framework for meetings, following up on previous meetings, reflecting on what they learned. So we encourage the students to look at all these and bring this to the table every time you have a session. But as I've previously said, not all students will have the skills to take leadership and organise the sessions. So they might just need a wee bit of help from yourselves within the first week or so in doing so. But after that, we actively encourage them to take the lead, as this will help them develop skills as well. So the mentoring forum, as said, the applications are open, and I will email the link over to you. They will be open till the end of the 30th of November. And the applications will ask for a couple of personal details, such as name, email, and address. Where asked for address, I don't need your full address, just the town or the city that you live in. And this just allows me to make a bit more of a local match for you. If you do live somewhere quite remote, the closest town to it would also be quite handy. So for example, if you're Scotland, if you live in a place called Killen, if you pop down Crieff, then that would be more handy because that's more of a known place. So just local town that's closest to you if you are quite remote. It'll also ask you for your CV. I don't share your CV with anyone. It just allows me to get a full understanding of what your personal experience or what your work experiences are, and to make that the best match I possibly can. Other questions might include evaluating your understanding of evaluating your understanding of mentoring and evaluating your expectations of the program as well. And this just allows me to make any changes to the program. You might have an expectation that I didn't think of before, and I think would really help with the program. So I do use these to better the program as it goes on. Thank you very much for listening. If you do have any questions, my email is at the start. I'll quickly just fly back to the start here, h.wardrop1@rgu.ac.uk. Feel free to email me any questions. I'm happy enough to answer them, or to meet you as well if that's easier as well. But thank you very much for joining me on this one, and have a lovely day or evening. Thank you. Bye.